Hey there, I am Arturo Bravo, and today I dive into a case study for the final assignment in the Google Data Analyst Certificate. Today, our focus will be on the comprehensive exploration of the balance between annual members and the casual user of Cyclistic in 2023. Let's start talking about background and context. What is Cyclist? Cyclist is a paycheck program located in Chicago, United States, with over 5,800 bicycles at 600 docking stations. The users have the option to access bicycles through a yearly membership referred as member or the option for one-time trips or full-day passes known as casual users. Cyclistic offers three types of bike: classic, electric, and top bicycle, ensuring inclusivity for the people with disabilities. So, what is the situation or problem, or what areas can be boosted? The marketing team has pinpointed opportunity for improvement to boost overall performance. That leads us to the ultimate goal for the marketing team. What is the goal of the marketing team? Is how to convert the casual riders into annual members. Our job today is going to be how do annual members and casual riders use cyclistic bikes differently. And this becomes the course of our case study today. Okay, to address this question, let's examine the user behavior in four categories. The first one is user demography. This is a total sample of the 2023. Then by type preference, we're going to know about the preference for each group of users, members or casual users. The average trip duration during the day, during the hours, and total trips by days. This is more like weekdays and weekends. It's important to note that the entire data set underwent formatting and cleaning process in Excel, Microsoft Excel. The subsequent analysis was conducted using RStudio. Additionally, a markdown document containing the relevant code is available in the description of this video. Let's start with this overall about the total trips in 2023. The first thing we can see is we have almost 6 million trips during 2023. 64% belong to members and 36% belong to casuals. Then we're going to make a sum out during the months to know what is the trend during the year. So we can see a couple of things interesting in this chart. Okay, the first thing what we can notice in this chart is we have a different relationship in January. So 8 out of 10 users are members and only 2 are casual. It's different than the 64 members and 36 casual during the 2023. This is an average, but this is monthly. So it has a different situation during the months. So what we can see in July is the peak for casual members. Remember, the pink bar are casual. So at this point, we have some more even or equal relationship. And to conclude, in the end of the year, we have some members having a similar relationship than January. So that means the relationship between members and casual are not identical or similar during the months. So what insight we have here? First, the overall, the majority of trips are made by members. The riders tend to a significant monthly variation in their usage patterns. And July and August emerge as the most popular month for trips. January and February stand out as the least popular months, indicating a significant drop in the users' engagement during these colder months. One aspect that particularly caught my attention was the substantial difference between the quiet months and the big months. So, to visualize this difference, we utilize a different chart to a clearer appreciation. So for our early graph, we observed a ground in trade leading up to July and August. Now, let's quantify the ground by comparing with the baseline month January. So if we compare January to when the casual reached the maximum peak, the growth was 8 times since January, which is a stunning 8-fold increase in trees compared to January. But with the other hand, if we compare the members' trends during the year, so the peak was reached in August. In the meantime, July was the peak of the casual. There are another difference here. So, but the only growth was the 3 times if you compare it with January. So, what is the example we have here? The casual trees increased 8-fold from the lowest point to the maximum. On the other hand, members, the increase was significant as well, but it was threefold compared to the baseline in January. A clear seasonality trend is evident in user behaviors, marked by shifts in the number of the trees during the spring and summer months, particularly in July and August. This chart is followed by a gradual decrease toward the end of the year. Okay, let's talk about by-type preference. Throughout the course of the investigation, I ought to examine each category, members and casual, separately to discern the potential difference in their preference. For members, the data reveals a nearly equal utilization of the electric and classic bikes. In contrast, casuals stand out as the sole group favoring the dog bikes, with a slight inclination towards electric bikes. These distinctions by preference add an intelligence layer to our understanding for users' behavior within age categories. Then size. Casuals user prefers electric bikes and they are the only one to use dog bikes. Members use electric and classic bicycles almost equally, with no record users of the dog bikes. Okay, let's continue talking about average trip duration. In this opportunity, I'm going to introduce a new graphic. This time, we're going to use the start time of the trip in the year. That means in 365 days. Okay. In this graphic, we have for the X and the hours. And here we can see the total trips during the year. So, what we can notice here. In this time frame, from 7 to 9 a.m. and from 5 to 7 p.m., we see a peak here and another peak here, which match with the peak traffic hours. This is in the case of members. So, and then we can see a trend from the casuals who is increasing during the day, reaching the maximum point at 6 p.m. So, this analysis provides a valuable insight into the daily utilization patterns of the both user categories. Another piece of information which is relevant is the fact we can see in the time frame since 1 a.m. to 3 or even 4 a.m. is the only moment where casuals is above members. In size, at the first glance, it's noticeable the gap occurs between 7 and 9 a.m. and 5 at 7 p.m., indicating the peak of the trace time for member users. And in contrast, a casual user shows a consistent upward trend throughout the day, reaching its peak at 6 p.m. The second notable observation in this graph is the only instance where casual trips surpass member trips occurring solely during the time frame from 1 a.m. to 3 a.m. Now we know the information about the day in hours. Let's talk about the duration during the day. So for this information, we're going to analyze the total trips in the weeks, the weekends and the weekdays. So the first graphic for members show this information, but stop, because first to conclude is this above or under the average, we have to consider this information. A week consists of 7 days. So when dividing by 100% by the week, it equals a 14.29% or approximately 28.5% per weekend. So with this information, now we can know if the members are more popular on weekends or on weekdays. So we know at the moment 28 is the average, and now we can notice here is a slightly variation, but it's not so big. For the case of casual, it's another story. So we can see a significantly above trend over the average. So weekends are notably more popular for casual users, 43% more than member users. If you compare this number with this number, you can see the 43% more than members users are casual. Now let's move to total trips per day. For now, we're going to use a different chart. We're going to use a different chart to represent the data for a different point of view. This chart is a line chart. So we have here the days of the week and the total trips. Remember, this information is during the year 2023. So we can appreciate it at two trends. One of them for casuals, starting on Tuesday to Saturday, reaching the maximum point on Saturday. And the second one, who is inversely proportional trend for members, starting on Tuesday, but at this point, ending on Sunday. It's important to know here, this observation doesn't mean, but it's not a causation relationship. Insights. The casual trend is bullish, scores, starting on Tuesday till Saturday. The trend for member is decreasing, starting on Tuesday and ending on Sunday. And finally, on Saturday, it's noticeable that there are almost the same numbers of users renting bike for each category, 52% for members and 48% in average per year. Remember, this information is per year. Upon a close examination, because this behavior is not the same for all the months, we find this information in July. So in July, we have a total different trend. And we have 2 points what we're gonna say or highlight. The first one is Saturday casual, the trend of casual are higher. And Sunday, the same, are higher than members. Information represent a very consistent insight what we wanna take or retake in the summary point. Summary. With this all information that we recollect during the course of this investigation, we can highlight the following. Throughout the year, member users took more trips than the casual users. The numbers of users fluctuates more significantly among the casual users than among members, as evident in the graph. That indicates during the year 2023, the members are more stable, whereas the casual users exhibit greater variability. Given that it's an outdoor activity, there are noticeable seasonal variation. These growth patterns could be influenced by the seasonal weather, with summer months being the most popular and the winter months showing the less activity. The particular fact to highlight is the maximum growth for casual was 8 times, while for member it grew 3 times if we compare it with the least popular month. It appears in the case of the members that during the peak traffic hour, the first peak possibly related to the commuting to work or daily activities, and the second peak may be associated with the afternoon activities of the return home after work. In contrast, casual users tend to increase their activity throughout the day, and between midnight and 4 a.m., casual users took slightly more trips than members. And finally, the hypothesis. The hypothesis indicates that members primarily use bicycle for commuting and daily activities, whereas casual users tend to have trips lasting twice as long on average. Notably, casual users exclusively opt for dog bikes, and there are peaks in usage during July and on weekends, particularly in summer. This suggests that casual users use bicycle for recreational purpose. Okay, let's talk about next steps. The first thing what we can do is develop and implement a comprehensive survey to collect direct feedback from users, include questions about their user patterns, preference, and the primary purpose of their bike trips. The next step could be conduct a more granular analysis of data, aspects such as trip duration, trip traveled, peak usage times, or weather condition influence the frequencies or nature of the bike trips. Could be another step. And finally, the recommendation. To conclude, our approach will focus on two key scenarios, when demand is high and when it's low. Okay, when demand is high, or in other words, summer. During the peak, casual trips is an opportunity or a good moment to design a strategy to highlight the benefits of becoming an annual member. We can leverage the enthusiasm for summer, considering introducing groups or rides, for instance, contests or 10 or bike events, daily challenges that involve exploring the city, and in the phenomenon seen with Pokemon Go in 2016 could also capture attention. Another strategy could be emphasize the advantage of avoiding traffic jams, because we saw the peaks in the traffic hours and the peak of the traffic hours. This is a fact is considered well understood by members, but perhaps less familiar to casual users. Um, and finally, for the high demand, there are a handy range of ideas scattered into different target segments, such as promoting environmental responsibility or focusing on the health or wellness, or for instance, moved by countries like Netherlands, where the cycling is integral to the high-quality lifestyle, especially in advanced age. And for the other hand, we can make another strategy for the low demands or winter periods. So, in the period of low demand during the winter, Cyclistic can consider expanding its bike auction, recognizing that harsh winter, especially in places like Chicago, may deter bike users. Introducing customer options tailored for winter conditions could be explored. This not only aims to engage or retain users, but also open the door to creating a new transportation solution and potentially developing a new business department within the company. And finally, continues the feedback loop. What does mean that? So lastly, but meaningfully, maintaining and continuing a feedback loop is a crucial. Gathering ongoing feedback from casual users allows us to adapt a strategy dynamically during low and high demand periods. Understanding the reason behind the decision not become a member will enable us to optimize our conversation strategy and better address user needs and preferences. This iterative feedback loop ensures that our strategy stays aligned with the user expectation, contributing to the long-term success of Cyclistic.